It's Dragon Ball time! Hello, welcome to another figure review. Today we're gonna have a look at the S.H.Figuarts Son Goku in the Kaio-ken version. And I groan immediately at the thought of another Goku. However, I gotta say, this one, I think it's pretty nice. I like the idea of doing a Kaio-ken Goku. They already did that back when they did the Tamashii Nations World Tour, but that one, first and foremost, was an old mold of the body. And second, this paint job for this version seems a lot more nicer, seems a lot more popping, and that's what we're looking for. Also, you have a different head sculpt with some new hair. So let's have a look. Starting this one off with the size of yet another Goku. Yes, that's gonna be the main theme of this review. Yet another Goku. He stands at about a little shy of 16 centimeters to the top of his hair, which means we're going up to 6.3 inches tall overall. But before I want to have a look at this Goku, let's turn back the time and have a look at the other Gokus right next to this guy. Because I've been doing a lot of comparison recently, but I feel like for this one in particular also, it is very necessary, as I lose my voice, because I want to have a look at what is different here. Why should you buy this Goku? Basically is the question that everyone is asking, and I'm asking myself. So let's see if we find some answers over here. As far as the body mold goes, yes, this is obviously the same body as we got with the Saiyan Raised on Earth Goku, which is the most recent mold, the body mold. The face sculpt, obviously it's a different face sculpt. That's like something that you have exclusively to this one, is the hair and this face sculpt, which does look a little bit weird. I'm not the biggest fan of the face sculpt, but the body itself is the exact same thing. No differences there. Has the knee pads, has the same logos all throughout it, and yeah, there's not really anything else there of note. But what about the Tamashii Nations World Tour one? This was a Kaio-ken version that was released quite a while ago. As I said, Tamashii Nations World Tour. I grabbed one when I went to Paris to see them, and the most obvious thing about this one is the older body mold. You have the weird shoulders over there and less articulation in the chest area, and no knee joints. Well, you have knee joints, but nothing to cover it up, so as such, they just look like that, which was the greatest. They kind of sort of fixed it with the new ones, even though it's not perfect. But anyway, obviously the paint job should be the most important part, so you can judge by yourself which one is the better Kaio-ken version. I mean, personally, I like that this one pops more. I like that it's a lot more shiny, but I do like kind of the thing that this one is darker. I kind of get a little bit more of a manga vibe from this one, even though, like, obviously manga is black and white, but the fact is it's a lot darker in the blue parts, and I like kind of the shading that they put in the reddish pink overall throughout the gi, which this guy doesn't really have. It's just shiny. It seems like this color job, this paint job, is a little bit more nuanced, if you want to call it like that. As such, I kind of like it more in some parts, but that's up for debate. Let's get back to the figure at hand, the figure I'm supposed to look at. So what's the deal with this Goku? As already mentioned, the face sculpt and the hair sculpt is exclusive to it, and I don't really like the face sculpt. It looks kind of weird. It looks pretty wonky, and I'm not the biggest fan of it. The hair sculpt is nice, there's lots of detail on it, although I kind of feel like the strands of the hair are a little bit too thinned out. It's kind of weird. Then we have obviously the hot pink. I feel like it's more hot pink than red anyway. And that's kind of like one thing that a little bit bothers me, because look at the box. Look at the box and most of the promotional artwork. Does that not look a lot more red? And does not look his hair, does that not look a lot darker? Same for the blue in his gi. Am I just tripping? The dark parts are a little bit too purple and the red parts are a little bit too pink, even though, like I said, I like this one, but this one's also pink, so. To be fair, looking at some of the pictures, looking at some of the original artwork from the show, it does look like that. It does have a pink hue kind of going over it, even though it's mostly red. While the aura is red, and he kind of looks a little bit pink. Paint job on here is nice, it is clean, don't have any troubles with there. There's really no bleeding, and the logos and everything are printed on there very nicely. As far as the rest goes, there's also a little bit of hue going on in the skin tone. That looks good. And there is some bleeding over there though. Unfortunate. That is weird. Just that part. It's an isolated incident because everything else looks clean, looks nice, even down to his purple shoes with the kind of band that goes around it. And obviously there's tons of wrinkles. Now the joints have a different color, but that's... I mean, you're not gonna be able to paint the joints in the same color as this entire gi because it will just flake off anyway. Just kind of weird, but then again, would you pose them like that? I mean, you could pose, maybe you want to pose them like that, but that's kind of boring. So that's enough of the figure. I mean, it's Goku with a hot pink paint job. Let's move on and have a look at the articulation. I mean, the articulation is also pretty standard to S.H.Figuarts, and if you have this figure, obviously, that would be the same. So, head moves forward, moves to the back, does tilt side to side, and does go all the way around. You have just a tiny bit of neck articulation. It's weird. I kind of tried to move it around a bit beforehand, but I can't seem to get more than that. And it's always like you have this neck joint, and you feel like there should be a lot more room than this, but I can't get anything more than that. Then you have the shoulder piece, which is connected in the back of the shoulder. So you have a ball joint, I guess, in there, or just, well, actually this entire joint moves out, never mind. So you can bring that back and forth. It is painted in the flesh tone, which is Doom. Doom? Wow, dumb. Okay, I just lost brain cells because it's so dumb. So apologies for that. But why would you do that? Why would you do that? It sticks out like a sore thumb. At least you can over the shoulder itself. You can move this over, but yeah, no. Stupid idea. Anyway, movement of it back and forth moves up. I can't still believe that I said Doom. You have a big hinge in there, bicep swivel, double hinged elbow, and a ball hinge in the fist, back, forward. Actually very nice, and it is hidden fairly cleanly. Also swivels, back, forward, chest articulation, side to side, and rotation. Then the hips, same thing, has some side to side movement, back, forward, wiggling, and tilting side to side. Also just a bit. The belt, you can rotate this part around, and I guess the belt is also floaty. I don't think it is connected anywhere, so you can pull that to the side to your liking, can play around with that. Then for your legs, move forward very nicely, move out to the side or not. Is that it? Is that it? I mean, it's one of these leg joints where you kind of have to play around. I think there would be more. I don't really get it right now. Moves to the back very nicely. Is not hindered by any butt. Then you have some rotation in the thigh, but I think that's about it. That's about as much as it goes out. Then you have the double hinge knee, as I was saying. It's not perfect, but I guess it's better than the previous one. And then the foot, the boot does not swivel, but the foot goes side to side, tilts side to side very nicely. Forward, backward, and has a toe hinge to round off the articulation. Accessories or lack thereof. You have a different hair sculpt, which looks pretty cool. Still purple, but whatever, I've been over it. He also looks pretty angry when he's in Kaio-ken. Also has a black spot on his nose. Thanks for that. Did I get that off? I'll look at that later. But yeah, there's the face sculpt, yelling and like just angry looking. And then hands. You got opposing hands and you got Kamehameha hands. And that's about it. Wow. And it's gonna do it. It's gonna bring me to the final thoughts. What do I think about this figure? Where are the accessories? I mean, seriously, Okay, I guess that's the part where I talk about the price point real quick. This figure retails at about 25 bucks, I think, if you buy them in Japan. 25 or 30. Obviously, that's Japan. You have to import it, yada, 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 whatever. I paid around 40 bucks for it. Depending on where I live, that might change. But as such, it is a lot more of a cheaper alternative for your S.H.Figuarts. You know, with new characters, they usually clock in at a lot more, like 65, 75, depending on who it is. It's still kind of crappy how little accessories he has. Like a little bit more hands, like a grabbing hand and a chomp hand, and I would have been less annoyed. But for the rest of it, This figure is not recommended if you don't want another Goku. Really, this is kind of like a novelty pick. If you're a completionist like me, this figure will not disappoint. It is a good figure, don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong with the figure, and the paint job looks really nice. And it really will pop in your collection. But if you're just a casual collector, and if you already have this Goku, especially this one, I think you don't need this one. And even if you have this one, that really depends if you want the new body mold or not. But as a whole, this Goku is a good figure, but it's just another repaint, and if you don't care about that, then it's an easy skip. That's gonna do it, guys. As usual, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget, if you enjoyed this review, hit it up with a like and subscribe to the channel so you can stay tuned for more figure reviews, card game stuff, and whatever Goku wants. Like more accessories. What is this?